This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Jeff Rubin Show. Very excited because today we are playing a game called Bring Your Own Book. But before we explain what that means, let me introduce the contestants we have brought together today. Starting over here on my right, could you please?
Hello, I'm Tom Phillip. I'm a entertainment writer for GQ.
And moving around.
I'm Dan Gurewitch. I'm a writer for Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Next.
I'm Laura Lane. I'm an author of the book This Is Why You're Single and a journalist.
And a fellow HeadGum podcaster. You gotta get
Yes,
the HeadGum
I also
pod.
have a podcast called This Is Why You're Single too.
And finally,
my name is Henry Goldman. I make internet videos for Buzzfeed News.
I have gathered this elite squad to play the game Bring Your Own Book. And here is how the game works. There is a deck of cards, and I'm going to reach for the cards. Each of the cards has two prompts on them. Actually, before I even get to the deck of cards, the game is called Bring Your Own Book, and indeed everyone has brought 5-ish books, a variety of books. Everyone has a stack of books. The game comes with a deck of cards, and the cards all have prompts on them. Each card has two prompts, and when you draw one, you can just pick whichever one you like better. This one says part of a superhero origin story, lyrics from a power ballad, part of a wedding toast. So we'll find the prompt. Everyone will pick up a book, look for a quote in their book that satisfies that prompt, just like sort of an out-of-context quote. The subtitle on the box is Bring Your Own Book, the game of borrowed phrases. And then the first person to find it will turn over the timer. Did I leave that timer out? Yeah. First person to find it turns over the timer, which starts a 1-minute clock for everyone else to find their thing. If you can't find something, just read something random off of a random page. Don't worry if we're all quiet. And I said that it's going to be a minute, and listeners might be kind of confused because I might edit out some of the quiet stuff depending on how the game actually goes. That's Bring Your Own Book. Really simple concept. I'm excited to see what books everyone brought. The game encourages you to kind of be creative in your book selection, and I see everyone brought different types of books. One more thing I want to say before we play the game is the game comes in a nice little box, and the box itself looks like a book. Any thoughts on the box, anybody?
I love it.
I thought it was a book.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So it says Bring Your Own Book, and this is kind of just a nice touch because there's not much to the game. It really is just a deck of cards and a timer. And if you open it up, it comes with a bookmark, a Bring Your Own Book bookmark that has like some prompts on it you can look for as you're reading your book. And then I really like this. On kind of the inside cover, it says books used to play this game, and there's like blank space where you can write in all the books you use.
That's so fun.
And I like when games come with like a thing you can permanently ruin and mark up. Like you have to kind of be precious with games sometimes and like not ruin it. And I like when it's like, yeah, just write on this with permanent marker.
This game feels like something that someone did with their family growing up and then turned it into a game.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
100%, yeah.
And Jeff, is this your first time playing it too?
No, I have played this once before, very briefly. Laura was there, actually.
Yes.
And we played, and it was pretty fun.
I got so into my book that I kind of stopped playing the game and just started reading the book somebody had brought.
I like that it's a way to... And what book was that?
It was called Energy Healing for Women.
so which is like, that's like the trump card book in this game. So I just like the idea of, it's kind of like a fun way to look at books. It's like a different lens through which to look at books, and I think that'll be interesting. Without further ado, let's play the game. So if you win a round, I didn't explain. So you find a thing, everyone will read theirs, then we'll count to 1, 2, 3. Everyone will simultaneously point at the person they thought had the best, and whoever has the best gets to keep the cards, kind of apples to apples / Cards Against Humanity style. Now, what do you guys think? Should we select the book? I already ruined it here. Should we pick the book, then the prompt, or should we do...
Book first.
Book first. What book are you guys using for round 1? If everyone could just briefly introduce their round 1 book.
For round 1, I'm using a book that in America is called The Quintessential Gentleman, which is the worst title for a book I can imagine. It's an etiquette book that I read in England a long time ago.
What is it called in England?
Etiquette.
Etiquette.
Yeah.
That is a better name. Dan, for round 1, what book will you be using?
This is The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and Six More by Roald Dahl. It's a series of adult short stories by Roald Dahl. Not adult in the sense of, sexual, but not for kids necessarily.
I read that when I was a kid. That's for grown-ups?
I think that they vary, but they're not like specifically just for kids.
Can I see the cover?
Unless I'm wrong.
I just want to see if that's the one I had. Oh my god, it's like just setting off my brain. That's like the one I read when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I have the Best of Roald Dahl, which is also some more of his grown-up writing. I considered breaking it out, but I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. Laura, what book have you brought for round one?
I brought Billy Bob Thornton, The Billy Bob Tapes, A Cave Full of Ghosts. I've never read it. Before I worked at legitimate publications, I used to work at celebrity tabloids, and they would make me go to like book readings and try to get quotes from different celebrities. So I had to go and try to get Billy Bob Thornton to talk about Angelina Jolie at his book signing. I did. It worked. I got him to talk about her. I don't remember what he said. And this book is signed by him. I have this problem where I have a lot of really shitty books at my house that are signed by authors, and I feel really...
You don't want to get rid of them?
I feel really guilty throwing them away when they're signed by the author.
Is it personalized to say Laura in it?
It doesn't. So I guess I could, if there's like a big Billy Bob Thornton fan out there and they email you, I'll give them this book.
And Henry, what about you?
I brought Sharp Teeth by Toby Barlow, which is an epic poem about werewolves in LA in the 80s.
I will be going from Hammer of the Gods, the Led Zeppelin saga, the definitive rock classic, which just sort of documents the story of Led Zeppelin through the point of view of their road manager.
All right. I have a quick question, if I may. The Billy Bob tapes, what does that mean? Is this a book that was composed based on, like, Billy Bob just spoke into a bunch of tapes for a long time?
I think so. It's also written with someone named Kinky Friedman, so I'm guessing, like, he just interviewed Billy Bob, and it was, like, long tapes of his rambling thoughts.
And what's the subtitle there?
A Cave Full of Ghosts.
I should say my book is written by a man named Henry Russell, who is subtitled here as Elegant Englishman.
Aren't all Englishmen elegant?
Tom, is that true?
I'm Scottish, so no.
All right. Well, let's new prompt. It will be a line in a ransom note. A line in a ransom note from your book. We are now officially playing the game.
This is a great prompt.
When I have it, do I just
Yeah,
set the timer?
kind of say I got it and turn over the timer. Tom, right away. Not a lot of editing in that quiet. Tom, putting the pressure on the group.
All right, that's your lot.
Okay, Tom, you were first. Why don't you give us...
Yeah, it's going to be really humiliating when mine's the worst one now that I chose it.
Also, I should mention it could be a word, a sentence, a paragraph. Any length is okay.
Okay, so...
Oh, really? Give me more than a sentence?
I mean, there's basically, like, yeah, we can. I think we can kind of make up the rules here, you know?
Okay.
But, yeah, that one's explicit.
A line and a ransom note. You can now get away with almost anything coarse or scatological in most company.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Dan.
Boys who break rules have to be punished.
That is
That's clean.
from the Roald Dahl book, The Story of Henry Sugar. Mine is, for such magic to succeed, it must tap the sources of magical energy, and this can be dangerous.
Mine is, I pulled my pants back up and I went out there devastated. Just fucking devastated.
That's really good. Frio and Jorge have been beaten bloody every day, waking up sometimes in rooms filled with men. Other times they rise in rooms filled with barking, snarling dogs, teeth bared with growling wet spit, spraying onto the boys' cowering bodies. Ray feeds them meat stew and offers cryptic advice. The change is in you, boys.
Very good. Very good. All right. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. We're going to point to whoever had the best line in a ransom note. Everybody ready? Everyone in? 1, 2, 3, go. Most people pointing at Henry. I think we got 3 votes Henry, 2 votes Dan. Card to Henry for the line from the epic poem. What's it called?
Sharp Teeth by Toby Barlow.
I kind of lost the card already. I'll just give you this one instead.
It was really an expansion on Boys Must Be Punished.
It was.
All right. That went pretty well.
That was
Pretty
pretty
fun.
I like the idea of a ransom note that's that poetic. And if I received that ransom note, I would just I wouldn't pay the ransom. I just want more notes from that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone select a book for round 2. Maybe this time, Laura, you want to tell us what book you're selecting first?
I'm selecting the book How to Be Parisian Wherever You Are, Love, Style, and Bad Habits. This was a book that was free on the giveaway table at People magazine. And I picked it up.
Have you read it?
I've read part of it, actually. Is very interesting. This was the uncorrected copy, so I think there were a lot of like edits made afterwards. This is not for sale.
Who wrote it?
4 French women. Anne Berest, Audrey Dewan, Caroline de Magret, and Sophie Mas.
They look very serious and Parisian.
They
on the
look
cover.
very très Parisien.
Henry, what book you got there?
I brought Life by Keith Richards.
Ooh, I read that. That was good.
Autobiography. I wish I'd dog-eared the page where he talks about how he has a bigger dick than Mick Jagger, which was, when this book was released, was like a lot of the reviews and press were just like, guys, guess what? Keith Richards said.
Tom, what did you bring?
I brought a very popular book, The Middlesteins by Jamie Attenberg.
The Middlesteins by Jamie Attenberg. What is it about? You said it was very popular. Now I feel like we're in for not knowing it.
It's a novel about a Jewish family who are very dysfunctional. One eats a lot.
Okay. Dan?
I have the selected poems of T.S. Eliot, and today will be the most that I've read this book.
I brought the 1968 edition of the Compton Yearbook. I actually found these sort of, I guess, when my grandfather passed away and actually we cleaned out his space, he had like a whole bookshelf of the Compton Yearbook from 1968. There's like 10 of them. This is just the outstanding events of 1967. And they're like, I guess this is before Wikipedia. Like, you just needed a big book of everything that happened that year.
So the Compton Yearbook is just an annual compendium of stuff that happened?
Yeah, and I had all 10, but they were really hard to, like, carry around. I moved, and I was like, I'm not keeping all 10 of these. I think I actually left them all at the College Humor office, and they're probably still there, but I did keep one of them, because I do think it was fun, and it reminded me of my grandfather, and they're just very silly. And that's what I'll be pulling from this round.
Cool.
All right, Tom, do you want to maybe pull the next prompt?
Great. And I can choose one of the
there's
two?
two. You can pick whichever one you like better.
Well, we already used one in an example, so I'm going to use the other one. A phrase you could see on a T-shirt.
A phrase you could see on a T-shirt. Okay, here we go. Do you guys have a strategy? I'm kind of just flipping to a random page, looking around a little.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but if I
just-
look too hard, I feel like I could just do this forever. So I kind of just like open up a couple pages and like almost like first thing I see.
Yeah, like first thing that'll work.
Yeah.
You imagine there's a version of this game where you could literally be like, you have 35 minutes.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not sure if knowing or not knowing the books is a help in this game either. I think you can get too precious if you, like, love the book.
Yeah. Wait, did someone flip it over? Oh, shit. I can't talk to you guys anymore.
You have probably like 5 seconds.
Boy. All right. I got something. I'll just go first. I'm already talking. Mine is, what is the prompt again, Tom?
A phrase you could see on a T-shirt.
A phrase you could see on a T-shirt from the Compton Yearbook of 1968. Here's mine. The 1967 American Bowling Congress tournament was held in Miami Beach, Florida from March 4th to May 7th.
I'd buy that shirt.
Yeah, I'm really playing a game of I'd buy that shirt in this round. So
Okay, yeah, let's say, like, I'm looking for the shirt I'm most likely to buy. That's who's going to get the finger point here.
I went with I'll work on it.
I'll work on it. That's pretty good.
I like that.
It's pretty good. From T.S. Eliot's Selected Works, which again I do own. The eyes are not here. There are no eyes here.
Okay. Henry?
I have... There's not much you can really say about acid except, God, what a trip.
And I selected from How to Be Parisian Wherever You Are, The Authentic Fake, which I feel like is just like a phrase that some pretentious hipster would wear.
Totally.
And Parisians are obsessed with Williamsburg hipsters, so I can just see The Authentic Fake on a T-shirt.
I think we should maybe start a business here where we just print T-shirts based on random phrases from books. All right, everybody ready? Everyone got one in mind? 1, 2, 3, point. Dan, a little slow on the point, but I'm going to allow it. I think Laura's got 3, Dan has 1, and that's it. No, and I have 1. But Laura gets the card.
All right.
Card to Laura for Authentic Fakes, which is 100% a card shirt they would make, and Brooklyn and South people
I
embarrassed.
feel like my little justification at the end really helped me there.
It did. I could picture it. very clearly.
I didn't know we were allowed to sell our fakes.
I think you should start to. It worked for me.
Selling is encouraged.
I just can't stop thinking about Dan's Lovecraftian T-shirt.
So,
I was just looking at it as like a T.S. Eliot fan who wants you to stop looking at her breasts, you know?
one thing I want to mention is that the instructions say, also, every time any player reaches 2 cards, everyone passes their books to their left, and it's kind of fun. I think it'd be fun if we all played with each other's books for a round. Maybe let's do our books one more time, and then we'll switch it up. Okay, everyone want to select a book? Dan, why don't you go first this time?
Sure. I'll be reading from Being Good, An Introduction to Ethics. Ethics. It's an introduction to ethics, the study of ethics.
All right, Henry.
I have Glamorama by Bret Easton Ellis.
What is? I know Bret Easton Ellis is, but that's
It's a book I read when I was a teenager, and I recently rebought and didn't read a little bit of it. And I was just like, Jesus, what kind of teen was I? It's about fashion models who become terrorists. It includes lots of Bret Easton Ellis in description of clothes and brands and fashion, and it's not good at all, I would say.
Laura, what about you? What do you got here?
I brought Joan Didion, Play It As It Lays. I brought a lot of silly books, and I brought my own book because I'm shamelessly promote. And so I tried to bring this for like some semi-highbrow cred to
What?
even out this shit.
I know the name, but I don't know much about Joan Didion. What do I need to know about her?
Just a great feminist author who writes
Pass, I'm
sad
just
shit.
It's sad, or it's.
Sometimes. Some of her stuff is.
I don't know why I thought it was going to be kind of funny looking at the cover of it.
She's very funny.
Is she?
She's like darkly melancholy observer of the human moment.
He explained it much better than I did.
Who didn't go yet? Tom?
I brought selected poems this time from E. E. Cummings.
Oh, that's a high degree of difficulty over there. I brought this book I got in college. It was like a mandatory textbook for college. I'm sort of reticent to tell you the name of it because I feel like you could Google the guy who wrote it. I mean, I'll show it to you guys, but this is the craziest fucking class I took in college. It was complete nonsense. I would like Google the vocabulary words, and like the only place they appeared online was like on the professor's website. It's about how to appreciate art. It is total nonsense. It's really. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can pull from it.
That's awesome.
I want to say that I've kept this book. I'm really excited to open this up because I kept it after I took this class. I was like, I got to hold on to this book because like I will never see anything like this again.
Wait, so this was written by the professor?
Yeah, and you guys can see it's like not really a textbook. It looks a little self-published-y. It's like, let's see, it's 110 pages or so, but like it's a little self-published-y, and it's about appreciating art, and it's nonsense.
That's great. That's my kind of book. Just a book where someone's like, "I figured it out. I've created a theory," and then like everyone else is like, "No." No.
All right, Dan, would you like to draw the next prompt?
Sure. All right, a line from an unpublished Dr. Seuss book.
Oh my goodness!
Ooh.
All of a sudden, the E. E. Cummings looking like a pretty smart pick.
Yeah.
Okay, I got mine. This is the first time I've had one like before the last possible second, so that's exciting. This is the first time I'm looking at this book in a very long time, and it is completely. It's the hype in my brain is justified. It is truly fucking nonsense. Like no sentence in this book makes sense.
Did you create any art after reading this book?
I think it was like an art appreciation as opposed to like making art class. But I honestly don't really know what it was about. Also, it was an online class, and this was like this was early in online classes. This was like 2003 or 4, and it was like a total fucking joke. Like,
that's time.
I'll go first.
Okay.
From Glamorama by Bret Easton Ellis.
This is a Dr. Seuss line from a Dr. Seuss book.
Unpublished.
Speedos after Bermudas. Baseball caps are positioned backward. Lollipops are handed out. Urge Overkill is played. Didier hides the Polaroid, then sells it to the highest bidder lurking in the shadows, who writes a check for it with a quill pen. So it didn't rhyme, but it has like a nice Seussian cadence.
Totally.
I was considering trying to do like a Seuss like reading, but I couldn't do it, you guys. I'm sorry.
What's a Seuss reading?
Just like a kid's book reading, like really ecstatic.
Maybe I'll try that. This is, again, from my nonsense college book. You too can play the net game using displacement, surplus, collision, and levels to build up layers of meaning using elements from the story Dead of Night. Dead of Night's a bit of a reach, but there's like the long list with a lot of commas. That feels very Seussy to me.
Okay, line from an unpublished Dr. Seuss book. Down with the human soul and anything else uncanned, for everyone carries can openers in Ever Land.
Oh, that's good.
And what book was that from?
This is 100 selected
you got a
poems.
poetry book. That's kind of
natural advantage.
I mean, I didn't choose the card, man.
A line from an unpublished Dr. Seuss book. In any case, what's so bad about death?
That's good. Mm-hmm. This is from Joan Didion, Play It As It Lays. I felt good today. Really good for a change. You fixed that. You really pricked that balloon. How did I fix that? You know how. I don't know how.
All very viable. Everyone got one in mind? All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Let's see, we got... Oh, boy. I don't know. I think 2 for Tom is going to win it here. I think everyone else only has 1.
Dan has 2.
What? Dan is 2?
Yes, tied.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do.
End the podcast.
All right, well, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Half a card each.
Yeah, I'd say half a card each. I don't know. Half a card each, sure. Dan, you hold it just for...
I'll take it.
Good solution. Okay. Should we play with each other's books a little? Should we, everyone select a book to give to the person on their right, maybe?
Sure.
All right, let's try it.
Sure.
Dan, what book will you be passing to Laura?
I'll be passing Laura the screenplay to Lincoln.
It's pretty thin. That's a little thinner than I expected for a 3-hour movie.
Font, you know.
Yeah. Okay, the screenplay to Steven Spielberg's film, Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
Laura, what will you be passing to Henry?
I'm passing Henry the Little Book of Energy Medicine. It's a shorter book of the book that I read when we were playing the game, and I stopped playing to become an energy healer.
All right, I'm definitely here for this.
It didn't work, by the way. I can't heal any of you.
Super on board.
Henry, what will I be playing from?
I'm going to pass you the Rap Yearbook
Cool.
by Shea Serrano. It is a book of... he wrote an essay for each year since rap began of what the most important rap song of that year was.
Is this a specific year? Or they're
It's-
all in here?
Every year is in there.
Oh,
And there's-
cool. This looks fun. Tom, I'm going to be passing you the Record Setter Book of World Records. Record Setter, we did a podcast on them for the Jeff Rubin Show long ago. Tom, you and I are actually in this book because I set a record at a College Humor live show for most whoopee cushions sat on without breaking a face or laughing or something. And you were a College Humor intern at the time, and you were one of my whoopee cushion technicians. And we actually rehearsed it throughout the day. And I mean, honestly, you deserve the record because the hard part was figuring out getting the whoopee cushion kind of workflow going and getting them under me as quickly as possible.
I remember at one point we played with the idea of yelling clear after you had set up.
We really spent a day of work on this, and it paid off because here I am in this book, which I am now passing to you. So it's full of fun world records like that.
I'm passing Dan the book I'm reading at the moment called The Tiger's Wife by an author whose name I'm going to fuck up, Taya Obret. I took out the bookmark because I'm embarrassingly close to the beginning still.
Wow. Is that the author on the back? She's 14 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Laura, I think it's your turn to pick the card.
Cool.
Is the book good, Tom? I guess
It's very good so
Is
far.
it okay that we know what books we're using?
Oh, yeah, we did that. Well, yeah. No,
okay.
this is how we've been doing it.
We're going to look for a narration from a nature documentary about animals.
Boy. Okay.
Wow.
Now, this is one where I can kind of look at the songs that are featured each year and maybe tune into one.
See, I have a screenplay here, so I feel like this should help me, right? Because maybe from the action.
I just keep getting distracted by all these pictures of people doing happy energy work in this book.
So fun.
Seem to have stumbled into a page about The Wire. I really want to stop and read.
This is the longest we've gone without
Yeah.
someone flipping the guy.
I like the challenge. Let's see what we got. Tom, you want to go first?
Yeah, I just went with something that could be played straight. Once the sweet spot or weak spot has been located, he pries open the shell, separates the meat, and slurps.
Oh, that's good.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
That feels very coherent.
Laura, what about you?
He smiles as the other New York lame ducks proceed down the stairs unaware, then nods his head back up toward the Capitol steps. Ducks? Maybe real ducks?
Yeah. I had ducks in here, and I was thinking about something similar. What about you, Dan?
You're a dog. You're a dog. Where are you? You're a dog. After a few hours of this, I said, Jesus, Grandpa, I get it. He's a dog.
I'd love if that spoiled the book for Tom, because it looks like you're reading 2/3 of the way into it. Tom's like, Grandpa's alive? Okay. I am actually going to read from that Wire page, after all. The game is out there, and it's either play or get played. This was a tough one.
Yeah, this is tough because this book is literally all about humans and energy. Medical students don't find these subtle energies when they dissect cadavers.
That works.
Yeah, I like that.
That works.
Good.
I like that.
Boy, good round. Everyone got one. It took us a little bit of time, but everyone got one. Okay, is everyone ready to point to someone? 1, 2, 3, point. I think I win? I think I got 2. And that's going to be...
I think I got 3.
Oh, Tom has 2,
Tom
too.
has 3.
Tom has 3.
Yeah.
The pointing system's a little tricky. Tom has 3, card to Tom. It's just
job.
trying to cheat.
There you go.
Maybe if I just act confident, no one will notice there's 3 pointing
Yeah,
to Tom.
there you go.
Okay.
Here's your energy book back.
Thank you. Here's your Lincoln
Just leave it for now.
screenplay back.
All right, maybe let's pass a book to the left. Pass a book to the left this time. I don't know.
A book we haven't used?
Yeah, a book we have not used. Do you guys still have books?
Yeah.
All right.
One left.
One left. Book to the left. I'm going to scoot over there, get my next book. Laura, what did you just pass down?
I passed him the book, This Is Why You're Single.
Shameless.
Tom?
Oh, sorry. I'm going to give you Raymond Carver's What We Talk About When We Talk About Love, a
Great.
classic.
Very good. Jeff, I'm passing you Born by Jeff Vandermeer. It's one of the silliest and craziest sci-fi novels I've ever read in my entire life.
Ooh, can I keep it?
It's about a giant flying bear.
That sounds great.
Wow, awesome.
Henry, I'm giving you a book by another former Jeff Rubin Show guest. This one is Viva La Pizza, The Art of the Pizza Box by, of course, Scott Wiener from Scott's Pizza Tours. It's a book all about pizza boxes. There you go.
Okay. And I passed Where I Was From by Joan Didion.
Whoa!
Another Joan Didion book. I did literally get it.
Didiorama.
I was like, shit, all my books are by white dudes. I need like at least a female writer in my list of books, and that's the first one I grabbed. But it's also a great book.
Great book. Thank you.
And, okay, so we went around. I think, Henry, it is your turn to pick the card.
Okay. Don't open an email with this subject header.
Well, I
Ooh,
like
that's
it.
so fun. These are really great prompts.
Yeah, they did a good job writing them. I should say, actually, I'll tell you afterwards. I don't want to look for a quote. Remind me I had something to say. Oh, man. I think I got one. Okay. Dan, you want to go?
Yeah. Never open an email with this subject line.
I'm excited to see what you picked.
Look, I'm only in 8th grade.
God damn it.
Tom, what about you?
Hold on, I just lost it.
I'll go. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
There are things, more important things than your mother leaving me.
Sad email.
Here is an email you don't want to open the subject you don't want to open the email. You know what it is. It's from the book Born, and it is time passed, and I existed in a quivering, exposed, horrible state.
What's the context? Like, what's in the body of that email?
Yeah, I want to read that email.
Yeah, I kind of do want to read that email.
This one, it just feels like I subscribe to a lot of like publishers, like newsletters, where they'll just be like, "Here's our latest article," and they'll just put that in the headline, and I mark them all as read almost universally. And this would definitely be one. This may be the most talked about innovation in pizza box history.
Yeah, typical press release.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I'd click on that email, though.
This is from Joan Didion, Where I Was From. Why? What for? What's it worth? What's it all about? That email just already gives me anxiety.
Yeah, agreed. All right, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, point. Laura. I think Laura with 3, Tom with 1, Dan with 1. I think card to Laura.
All right.
Great.
Okay. At this point, I think we have run... Well, actually, before I forget, I want to mention that this game, like one of the last games we played on this podcast, which was Slash, is available as a print-and-play version on their website. So if you're into it, you can get it on Amazon or wherever, but also you can print and play your own one, which I always think is neat. And because it really is just a deck of cards and the timer, and you bring your own books. So you kind of, it's kind of fun to supply your own pieces. So you can do that if you're interested and think this sounds like fun. So I think at this point we've run through everyone's books, right? We could go again. I mean, there's lots of sentences in these books. I have some more because I live here, so we could pull out of the Jeff book pile. Or what do you guys want to do?
I'm interested to see what books you have.
Let's check in on the score here. I have 0 cards. I'm doing terribly. I think Dan has 2. Laura has 2. Henry has 1. Tom, do you have 1?
I have 1. I think Dan and I also have the half. Yeah.
Oh, right. So you have 2.5. That's
Yeah, 2.5.
the half you're holding there?
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah. So I think
have
you get
2.5.
this one, so you have 1.5. But I think Laura is still firmly out ahead as we head into our final round, the all Jeff book round. I think this time let's just pass out the books. I'll just pass out the books. I'll just use all the books we haven't used yet. Well, let's just get this started right away with Frank Herbert's Dune. Frank Herbert? I've never had to say it out loud before.
Thank you.
Dune, that's a lot of words in there for you to pick from. Dan, I will give you this book, Joshua Tree, The Complete Guide.
Ooh.
I have a bunch of hiking books and nature books, but this is the one with by far the most flowery language. There's like barely any actual hiking information here.
That's
Like the
awesome.
guy was just like, I'm going to write a book about Joshua Tree and like include 3 pages of hike directions.
I was eyeing that book. I'm very interested in it.
There's actually not that much hiking to do in Joshua Tree because it's in the middle of a fucking desert, so it's like there's not that many trails, so it'll cover you if you go, but it's got exceptionally flowery language for
It's really it's immediately it's just like the Willy Boy Manhunt.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
It's also like full color, like a magazine. It's crazy. I don't know why I got that one. Laura, let's see what we got. Oh, perfect. Laura, I will give you the Atlas Obscura. There's actually no subtitle, but this is a great book from the website Atlas Obscura. It's kind of a collection of weird places around the world. I absolutely love this book.
It's beautiful.
And, I got 2 more. Henry, you can choose between the final 2 books. One is an issue of Bowler's Journal magazine with Weird Al on the cover. Again, a former Jeff Rubin show topic. And this one is the Random House Historical Dictionary of American Slang, Volume 1, letters A through G. I sort of have a long-term goal of collecting all of these. It's just a book. Oh, boy, I can't read that word out loud. It's like a book of dictionary of just slang, opening up to one word. Oh, God, I can't read that one. Jeez. Deadbeat, dead car, dead dog, dead duck, and it defines terms like that. The first 2 pages I opened to had words I would not be comfortable reading on this show, so that's just a word of caution. Which one do you want?
I think I'm going to go slang dictionary.
Slang dictionary. This is the large bookcase of hardcover worthless books that I will collect that my grandchild will have to remove from my apartment after I'm dead.
Yeah, between that and the yearbook, you're really collecting things that are on the internet in gigantic hardcover.
But
form.
the slang one is fun because it's kind of like Urban Dictionary, but before Urban, like a pre-internet Urban Dictionary is like kind of like a fun record. I think.
yeah.
I saw that. Where did I see that? Oh, I'll tell you where I saw it. I went to a meeting about naming something, and so like there was just like a bunch of collections of books of random words, and I was like, oh, I'm getting this myself. Like I'm going to need a copy of this for when I go home.
It looks very official and nice. It's
It's a pretty nice book. It's from, what's it say on the side there, Henry? I can't quite get to
It's
it.
from Temple University's Russell Conwell Center for Student Support Services.
It costs like $3 on Amazon or something. All right, and our final prompt of the day will be
the most important ingredient in a magic potion.
Ooh, I like this one.
the most important ingredient in a magic potion.
Oh, this energy book would really come in handy.
Boy, I can't believe I never actually read the rest of this bowling magazine before. It looks good. I went right to the Weird Al article. I don't have to tell you.
Bam.
Whoa. Well, I wish I had some more time with this bowling magazine. I know it's in here. I know the perfect answer's in here.
I just don't buy some of the definitions that are in here. Bubble dancing, the washing of dishes by hand. Nobody's ever said, I'm going to bubble dance.
Just washing
Wash
dishes.
Yeah.
All right, I got the page it's coming from. It's just a page of random bowling stuff. Oh, we're almost out. I guess we're out. Someone go first. I'm going to read from this page real quick.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah,
to give you
please,
guys
thank
a little
you.
extra time. I'm going to read it like I'm a witch. The recipe requires a duck or chicken egg to be encased in a mix of salt, clay, quicklime, ash, and rice hulls for several weeks.
Rice holes?
What's a race hole?
I don't know.
What book was that?
This is
These are all my books.
the Atlas Obscura.
Dan.
A gifted baseball player who is known for his athleticism.
That's good.
Oh, that's good.
Your friends, your tribesmen.
That's good. I'm going to go with... Where'd it go? Oh my god, I'm cheating. Henry, you go. I lost it.
I'm going to go with bubble shits, which is defined as diarrhea.
I'll go with bowling finger support designed to aid classic fingertip bowlers. Okay. Everyone got one?
Yeah.
Before we vote, I just want to say that there is a huge half-page ad. I was looking through the classifieds for Dream Home with your own lanes. Impressive 6,000-foot San Francisco gated estate home with a private bowling facility in a prestigious area, 6 bedrooms, 6.5 bath main house. I've never seen like an ad for a specific house in a magazine, but I guess that's how you sell a 6-bedroom house with a bowling alley in it.
I guess, my question is, who is
Subscribing to-
so interested in bowling that they subscribe to a bowling magazine and also has enough money to own that house?
It's a fair point. Does everyone remember?
Is this magazine still in circulation?
Yeah, this is a recent issue. This is from February.
So the house is still available.
Do you subscribe to this magazine?
No, I only got this one because it had Weird Al on the cover, and I interviewed the author.
That ad's been in every issue of that magazine for 70 years.
Does everyone remember
sold.
what everyone picked?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, vote. Let's see, I think 2 for Henry, 2 for Dan. Right? Tom, who are you pointing at there?
I'm pointing at Laura, yeah.
Oh, never mind. I think it's 2 for Dan.
What?
I think Dan...
No. Henry has 2.
God, I'm so bad at this. I forgot I have a hand that I'm pointing. So wait, is it 2-2 again?
Yeah.
But you picked. I think this time we can let you pick the winner because you
Okay.
were,
Yeah.
you were involved.
I gotta give it to Dan on that one.
Dan
All right.
takes the card. I think we'll put him on top for the day.
And takes the win.
With 2.5 cards. That
3.5, right?
clutch half card.
3.5, yeah. Feels good.
3.5. Dan wins. All right, that's Bring Your Own Book. What do you guys think? Fun game? Would you recommend it?
Yes, I'm gonna play this probably soon.
Dan, what do you think?
I like it, yeah. I think it's like, I could almost imagine, coming up with your own prompts and doing it that way. Not to encourage people from buying the game. but
No,
yeah.
yes, you totally could. I mean, you could do that with a lot of games. Like,
I
you
guess
could
it's
draw
true,
your own
yeah.
Guess Who cards if you really want to, but
Right.
I would say the prompts were very good, and there were a few that we struggled with, but I think they did a really good job with them, and like most of them are really open-ended, and you could like get something fun out of any book.
Yeah.
So you could do it yourself, but also like you can literally just print them for the website for free, like just use their work. But writing them yourself like could be a fun
Totally.
thing to do. But
it's a lot of fun, though, and it's like a good excuse to like look through some books you haven't thought about in a while.
totally,
Yeah.
and it's fun. Yeah. All right, Laura, what do you think?
Yeah, I loved their prompts. I mean, you're like a professional comedic writer, so I think for like the normal folk, coming up with your own prompts would be like a challenge. But I liked also your instructions to bring a variety of books. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think that really added to the game.
Totally.
Made
Like,
it
if we were
very
just all
fun.
using novels, I think that wouldn't be as good. But, like, the fact that there's, like, looking around, I see, like, dictionaries and travel books and all bowling magazines and all sorts of things. I feel like, I don't know, it's a fun variety, and it's fun how you can find different things in different books. What do you think, Henry?
I really like it. The way I usually like wind up playing games at my house is I'm just like, hey guys, let's bring out this game. Like I've never like come over to play games. I want to sneak games into my friends' lives. And so like that makes it a little hard. And I was then like, I just tell people like everyone has Kindle books on their phone if they have the Kindle app. Could you play this with a non-physical book? And
It's a
just
good
physical
question.
Copy?
You definitely could, though I feel like something would be lost. Like, part of the fun is just, like, opening to a random page. And you can do that to a degree with a Kindle, but, like, I don't know, there's something kind of, like, fun
Yeah.
about thumbing through the pages, right?
Yeah,
I
the
agree.
physical feeling of thumbing through the pages is important.
I mean, you could do it if you had a book on your Kindle you really wanted to, but, like, I think you got them. It's right there in the title. Bring your own books.
It also makes you feel creative just choosing the phrase, even though you did none of the writing.
That's true, but I would say you do feel creative, and I think you are being. I mean,
Yeah, I think you are.
I think you're being creative, certainly more so than in a game like Cards Against Humanity, where you're kind of just matching things up. Like, there is definitely a degree of creativity because you're taking things out of context, and you're like, oh, he's talking about this there, but if I put in this other, like, that definitely requires creativity, and I think. There were lots of them where like I felt I felt like a good feeling of satisfaction, like I had like sunk a basket or hit a ball or whatever people do outside. Like I felt like I did it, like I connected.
it is
you know?
rewarding when you have like 40 seconds of panic and then you find like a little phrase and
Yeah.
you're like, all right, okay.
At the risk of sounding too sincere, the two things I really liked about this game are very low bar for entry.
Yeah.
Anyone can play, anyone can pick up the rules very easily. And second of all, it's a new way to kind of look at and read books that either I've seen before or haven't seen before.
Yes, I think that's what's really. I mean, I think it's a fun game, and I think it's cool, and I'd recommend it. But I think the thing that sets it apart is exactly what you just said, which is like, I don't know, books, right? Books are hard to read sometimes. It's like hard to make time for books, and like they're so great, and like it's fun. It's fun to have a game that like celebrates books, and it's not just like, oh, you landed on the Narnia spot. You got to go back 2 spaces. Like the books, I said this a few times, but like the books that you bring, your books are the playing pieces, and I think that's really fun.
Yeah, it's also just a good way to organically recommend books to each other. Like now I want to read that Flying Bear sci-fi book.
Yeah, totally.
Same.
Yeah.
Flying Bear sci-fi book, the big winner on the day. Sorry, energy meditation. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I would say, like, no, it's a little tricky. I had to be like, everyone bring books, which is, like, not a typical instruction you give when your friends are coming over. But I feel like no beach home or no vacation home should be without this. It's really small. It's really simple. I think, and the other thing I want to say about it is I think this is a good game for people who don't like games. I think there's lots of people who don't like games who would be really interested in this. Book nerds, obviously, like, It's barely a game. It's more of just like a fun activity we did together. That Dan won is besides the point. Like,
I disagree.
And yeah, I'd recommend it. It's pretty cheap. You can print and play your own version. I think when I read the idea, I was just like, oh yeah, that's a perfect idea. I was like very jealous, and I thought it was just a simple, great idea. And thank you guys for coming over and playing it.
Very quickly, Laura, did you tell us the names of the authors of the energy medicine book? Because they are two very energy medicine names.
They are Donna Eden with Dondi Dolan.
Who, if you look at the back, is Donna Eden's daughter.
What?
Oh, yeah.
It's a mother-daughter energy work team.
Of course, Donna named her daughter Dondi.
That's amazing. Dondi Dolan. That just sounds like someone mishearing Donna Eden's name.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'm like sort of ironic about my love for this book, but I actually mostly really like it. I'm like half joking.
I don't know what's the good part of it. What draws you to it?
Oh my god. I don't know. It just like makes you think a little differently about your body and like. I like yoga and stuff, so like you can like. Oh my god! Don't make me explain. I'm just gonna sound like a freak.
Have you tried that though? Like, have you tried?
I have. I've been trying to like, just like they say like cross your arms and like see if you can feel like the energy between your wrists. I think I can.
All right.
It could be placebo, but I think I can feel it.
Have you gotten Reiki yet?
No, I haven't gotten Reiki yet.
What's Reiki?
But I do acupuncture every 2 weeks, and that's kind of like a similar thing. It's kind
Reiki's
of
therapeutic
acupuncture
touch.
is kind of like falls under energy healing in terms of like moving energy throughout your body.
Does everyone at the table know what Reiki is besides me?
My dad got into it, so I learned a little bit.
I've never
about
heard
it.
the word before. I'm learning.
It's like the therapeutic touch. It's the same thing as Reiki, right? Like you don't totally touch or make contact, but you're like using energy forces to heal.
Oh,
There's some crystals too.
ooh.
Oh yeah, it's a crystal too.
It's one of those things that, like, if it helps you understand yourself or think about yourself in a different way or better, then I don't see the harm.
I've always thought about it like the placebo effect is very real, and so
It is real.
And so if it's just the placebo effect, that still is a net positive. If you're like it's making you feel better, why not?
So this is kind of another benefit of the game then is like, even though I'm not reading that book, like I feel like I just learned a little something from it and like I took something out of it. And so like, it's a fun excuse to talk about that. It's a fun excuse to, I don't know, just learn. I like this game a lot. I really do. I thought this was a lot of fun. Guys, thank you again for coming over. Anyone want to plug anything? Open table for plugs.
Me and Dondi Dolan have a comedy show that we're doing together.
No, you heard where everyone's from in the beginning. Tom Phillip from GQ, Dan Gurewitch from Last Week Tonight, Laura Lane from This Is Why You're Single, and Henry Goldman from Buzzfeed News. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was really fun. Thanks again.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
That was a HeadGum podcast.